Hello, friends. It's Mrs. Jane on Wednesday, Friends Day. I believe it's October the 21st, 2020, with all the fantastic news you can use about our fantastic day at school. And how did it go? Fantastically, of course. After our typical temperature check with Mrs. Ann, rushed down those stairs, got right into our routine, made sure that our backpacks and our jackets were hung up. Lots of rain jackets today. And then put our folders in the take-home box, made sure to sanitize our hands, check in at our clothesline with our named t-shirts, and then head off to our tabletop activities. Today we started those tabletops on table 1, still putting together the spelling of our name in the correct progression, still using all caps with our name train. And once we did that, then we had a little fine motor work, little visual discrimination work as we moved today in vertical lines from top to bottom on the page. We were tracing the path of falling leaves from the tree to the ground. There were some straight lines and some wiggly ones too. Using our crayons for that from our pencil box, of course. On table number 2, we were asking folks to look at some numbers and to do some counting as we did a pumpkin grid game. And so the grid had 10 pictures of pumpkins. We used some faux pumpkins to put on there. We had our number dice. Roll the die. That was the number that you would cover up on your grid until you covered the whole grid. Once you finished that, you could head to table 3, where it was time to decorate an E. And today we had some gorgeous glitter. Yeah, the orange and sparkly kind. We covered our E with that and then sprinkled on some orange tubular confetti. Another new thing for us. Lots of sparkle today on those E's. Oh, and we were made sure to give our paper some substance there. We also stapled our paper to an orange page. Another extra look at color orange there. On table number 4 today, we made another puppet, and this time it was an elephant puppet. I like to call him Eddie. Yeah, so we colored Eddie's parts and then glued those onto the paper bag to make our puppet. And then, of course, today, because it's Wednesday, it was time for a question of the week, and today we asked everybody, what color are your eyes? We gave choices of brown, blue, or green. We'll give you the results of that in just a second. We had our guessing jar out for estimating, and today we had some Halloween erasers in there. Give you the results of that soon too. Some typical orange Play-Doh at the Play-Doh table as well. And then, of course, once we finished up our tabletop activities and cleaned everything up, got all the materials to the teacher table, time to board that Rock-A-Motion choo-choo. And before we got it going, before we got those train arms moving, we gave the results of our question of the week and of our guessing jar. So in terms of the question of the week, when we counted and we contrasted and compared, we realized that we have mostly brown-eyed people in our class. So that was the number that was more. 8, I believe. It went 8 folks with brown eyes, 4 folks with blue eyes, and I think it was, oh, I'm sorry, I think it was 8, 4, and 1. So I think 4 with blue and then 1 with green. I might be a little off on the blue and green part. Regardless, the most were folks with brown eyes. When we looked at our guessing jar results, we are proud to say that 4 of our friends actually hit it right on the nose. There were 9 Halloween erasers inside the guessing jar today, and 4 of our friends knew that, and so today they got to take home Halloween erasers. We didn't give them all 9, parents. We let them share the contents of the jar today, so each one went home with a small baggie of the erasers. And then, of course, time to brainstorm a couple more of those E words to add them to our list, and then get our train arms going and our wheels ready for the track. Got ourselves to our Hello Circle where we introduced our persons of the day. Our pledge leaders helped us with the Pledge of Allegiance. Our attendance officer gave us an attendance report. Meteorologist gave us the weather report. We also sang our good morning song, for sure. Did a little 7th inning stretch to get that blood flowing from top to bottom. And then after that, I believe, I think we said we looked at our calendar, of course, and then a little time for some moving and grooving. And today, because we started out on the dreary side of normal outside our windows, we thought we'd like to pep it up with a little dancing, so we did a little more tootie-ta today. After that, we got into our individual groups and started out for our craft and then our small group meeting for literacy. Yeah. So on the craft side of things, and this is a fun one, we used Legos to paint, parents. Yeah. This time we were painting our pumpkin with Legos. We used orange paint. We used for the pumpkin, and we used green paint for some leaves and brown paint for some stems. So take a look for those. They'll be up on the wall soon too. In the small group, in our literacy side of things, of course, we began with our ABC song. Talked about the sound of letter E. We're using this short sound of E, as we probably mentioned before. That's the sound. Yeah. In fact, we say, "How do you feel today?" What's the weather like outside? You get it. After we talked about the sound of E, then we collected on some ABC squares, took a look at the whiteboard where I put up the word emergency. And today we talked about what we do in a couple of different emergency situations. To start out, we talked about the word emergency itself. And the company line on that is, an emergency means there is danger. You need help, and you need help fast. And so a couple of the kids said right away, like when there's a fire. Just what we wanted them to think. So we actually talked about what we would do in a couple of different fire emergencies. And the first one was, in case our clothes ever caught on fire, we would do what we call stop, drop, and roll. And so we all practiced that a couple of different times on our mat. Be sure to tuck our hands in to protect them as well. After that emergency situation, we talked about fire with smoke and how smoke likes to live up there high towards the ceiling. And for us to get away from that smoke, we have to get down low and go. And we practiced that with some pretend smoke. So our grandma helpers today would hold one end of a white sheet. I held the other, and we jiggled it back and forth as if it was the smoke from a fire, and the kids got low and crawled underneath the smoke, and we practiced that a couple of times. So maybe you can talk to the kids about emergencies and repeat the kinds of things they need to do in those two emergencies so they're comfortable with that information. First one, clothes on fire, stop, drop, and roll. Second one, if there's smoke, get low and go. After that, friends, it was time for us to take a little break. We headed to the necessary room, then the library for some free read, and then our delicious and nutritious snacks that everybody sent from home. After that, you recall, on Monday, we didn't have enough minutes to get in our center playtime. So today we offered extra minutes for that. And we had everything available in housekeeping, of course. The engineers could use the magnet blocks for building. The other engineers could use the train set to build a little track and get their trains moving today. Of course, all the vehicles were available, and the action toys like the bouncy balls and the sit and spin. And we also had some painting at the easels today. And then as well as a little time in the library to enjoy a book. And several of us did. It was a nice, calm, quiet time there in the library. We really enjoyed it. And you know, parents, that's always an option for us to take some time out during that center time to go to the library and read a little book. Not always our first choice, but today it seemed to be a good one for several of us. After, of course, our center time, it was time to come to our circle and to do some show and tell, circulate our class book. By the way, speaking of our class book, thank you, families, for your kind comments about our book after you read it. We always enjoy hearing what you have to say about our books. We did a little recap, and then, of course, it was time for a goodbye song, a treat, head up those stairs to you, and enjoy the rest of our day. A couple of public servants announcements. Parents, they didn't change much from Monday, I have to say. Just remind you that our last chance at Color Orange is this Friday. And then last chance at letter E is this Friday. And our Scholastic book orders still due next Thursday on October the 29th. We'll have a little more information coming home to you about our Halloween celebration that will happen next Friday. Yeah, you'll get a little note about that coming. And I guess that does it for now. Hope everybody has a good rest of the day. And remember, any comments, any questions, any concerns, please reach out. We're here to hear and help. And as always, it's a good day to have a good day at Jack and Jill. Talk soon. Bye now.